Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Monday, everybody. Stephanie Jones in the house.
Yes.
Hello.
Love it. How you doing?
I'm all right, lovey. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I'm staring, but I'm always just like, what watch does she have on?
I know.
I see over there.
The watch game is strong with this one.
Oh, thank
Beautiful.
you. I'll take
The
it.
rest of us are just tugging, using our, tuck it away.
No,
I love it.
don't be silly.
Let's see how the hosting game is.
Yeah.
Let's get started. All right. Who saw Dave Chappelle's opening monologue on Saturday Night Live over the weekend? Well, he began by mocking Kanye West for his rants against Jewish people. But then Chappelle pushed the envelope a little further. Let's have a look.
I've been in Hollywood. This was just what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. Doesn't mean we run the place. He broke the show business rules. This is a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob, but if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it.
Now, I don't know if I should laugh or not, but we're going to talk about
If you
it.
do, you're canceled.
That's right. In response, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League tweeted, "We shouldn't expect Dave Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see SNL not just normalize, but popularize anti-Semitism." Now, I don't know who I want to go to first. Tori, I'm going to start with you, Al. I want to get your take because you're a comedian, and we have a lot to talk about. But were you offended, Tori, as a Jewish person, by what Dave Chappelle said over the weekend?
I was not offended.
Why are you cringing when you say
I know,
that?
isn't that weird?
It's like you're saying I'm not, but you look like you're in pain
And I appreciate you saying that because I know a lot of Jews felt like this normalized what Kanye was bringing up, normalized the conspiracy about the Jews, normalized it all. In my opinion, he took the temperature down. He undid some of the fire that was there, in my opinion. He made it funny. He made it clever. What this was for me was a 15-minute surgical precision of skating the line, which is what you want a comic to do, like a George Carlin or a Pryor. You want him to go and then come back, go and then come back, and then you want them to talk and make fun of everybody. He made fun of the blacks, the Italians. He made fun of Trump. He made fun of the Jews. To me, this is the best kind of comedy. And it is right after an election. The SNL's had him now twice right after an election. He seems to be the palate cleanser for a weird sort of Jews, blacks, elections. He sort of makes it all okay.
You mean what comics are supposed to be, for the most part?
Exactly. What did you think, Al?
Just the idea.
Is my Jew card gone?
No, it's right there. It's intact. Yes, it's next to your keys. Now,
Where are keys?
Yeah.
You can never find those.
But yeah, that's really, I think, the assignment of comics that choose to be kind of political and have social commentary. They're kind of like unelected mayors of what's going on. George Carlin was like that. He would just talk about, how important language was and how important hypocrisy was, but he would be funny. He would usually have a list of things, and like he would show you how silly it was that you couldn't say certain words on TV, but you could say this. You can say this on TV, but it's okay to do this. Human beings are encased in hypocrisy, and that's why we constantly miss the mark when we try to say, you know what, Jeff Schroeder, bad guy. You know what, Al Jackson, great guy. There's nothing that simple. Everything is all mixed in there, the good and the bad and the pain and the poetry. It's all inside of us, and like trying to undo that and like make fun of each strand is what the comic's job is. And when we just start saying we're offended, that allows us, Steph, to then step away and say, like, I don't have to listen to it anymore. And it lets you off the hook easy rather than examining and self-examining yourself and your group and your cohort.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can possibly follow the pain and the poetry.
Well, Steph,
that's the name of my first comedy album.
That's like a book cover.
No, but everybody brings a little something.
It's like that weird thing inside of us. It's like we can never just pick one thing. There's always
We're not one-dimensional.
different people all the time.
I mean, I would be afraid. I would be afraid if I were him because you don't like now cancel culture is so strong. Everything that Kanye has just done recently, which has like shocked and horrified the majority, unless your name is Kanye West. And I would be afraid if I was Dave Chappelle because I'd feel like you said, there's a line that he's like on this line going backwards and forwards. I I'd be afraid, like, how do you know if you're missing the line or not? And as a comedian now, I feel like the rules have changed. It's almost like there is no rule book, because at any point, everyone could be appalled, and that's it, you're done.
Right.
Are you nervous yourself just sitting up here on live television?
Yeah, sometimes, absolutely. Like, sometimes, you know, it's hard because you never know what you're... Yeah, it's scary, and like, people are so quick to call out and judge or say their experience or their truth, which is obviously right for everyone. But, you know, sometimes it's really, really hard. And like, we're on live television. We can say anything at any time. And luckily, we all know each other. We know each other really well. And we know when we make a point or we say something, like maybe if it comes across in a different way and what the person really means. But hey, when you're on SNL in front of the entire of America, and like you've not had long to create that, and you're talking about different communities that could easily be riled and offended, that are on high alert because of high profile other things that have been said. I mean, geez, I don't know if that's a spotlight I would want.
Yeah, he ran right into that fire.
Yeah, he said at the end, I want to bring this up, quote, "It shouldn't be this scary to talk about anything."
Yeah.
And that's just society in general these days. And I don't know. I think he's a genius.
Completely agree.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of geniuses, Lindsay Lohan is making a comeback.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I said it. Steph, you have the clip.
No, she is.
Her new Christmas movie is #1 on Netflix right now. So Lindsay has been making red carpet and talk show appearances to promote the movie. So in the movie, she plays an heiress who gets amnesia on a ski trip.
I love it.
I mean, it sounds a lot like never mind. But some are saying this is her big return to Hollywood. Lindsay took a break from LA after numerous run-ins with the law and visits to rehab. She's been living in Dubai since 2014, and she also got married this past year. So this is her Citizen Kane to the world.
I am so excited.
Orson Welles.
Yeah. I'm so excited. The Lonaissance is upon us. She is here. She has signed a 3-movie deal with Netflix. And what better than a little festive jaunt to get us going? Yeah. She's looking fantastic. Like,
she looks healthy. She looks
healthy. She looks happy. She's literally killing it on her interviews and when she's doing her press appearances. I am so happy for her. I've grown up loving watching Lindsay Lohan, and I love to see her thrive.
I like to hear you say that, Steph, because I never appreciated how much joy I felt certain people took in watching her downfall, recording her, you know, and there was, I don't know, Jeff, you know me,
I'm with you.
I kind of like when somebody has a comeback story and it's a little, you know.
But there's also
I know
something.
You guys try to take me down and I'm back. I just respect that because she could have stayed down or it's been like a mess and she fixed herself, and I really respect that.
It takes an enormous amount of power to do that and strength. I also just want to say, I think she's a terrific actress.
Yeah.
I think she's underrated as just like a really, even in Freaky Friday, Parent Trap.
What do you mean even in? That was iconic.
I know, but she's very
iconic.
Good. I think she's a really good actress. I really do.
Freaky Friday.
Iconic. Jamie Lee Curtis is going for a sequel, and I hope she does. And also Mean Girls, if Tina Fey steps
Remember how good that was? Ugh.
I hope there'll be a sequel of that too.
Meaner Girls.
Meaner Moms. Should be a mum in this one, probably.
Oh, that's a good
Love
one.
it.
I'm speechless.
I'm so excited.
I didn't know the Academy was.
I know.
She's a really underrated actress.
Freaky Friday
And singer, and performer, and dancer.
Like
Jingle Bell Rock.
All right, let's
not
get out of
forget.
here. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Knots Landing star Lisa Hartman Black. She's telling us what it was like being on the hit 80s show. And Kim and Kanye's 9-year-old daughter, North, says she has a favorite R-rated movie. Is there a right age to let your kids start watching this stuff? That's a long question. Stick around.
There's going to be a lot of internet chatter. That's where the red flag goes up.
We are never going to agree on this. It's ignorant, and for me, it was just like a damn shame.
Tell me I need to do something, I'm going to do the exact opposite.
You know why I don't call in sick? Camera hog. Oh, cool.
Say that again, Tori.
No, don't worry. She said it before, so just watch another episode.
That's true.
Yeah, I will say this in talking about audiences and people being worried about canceled. I was in Wisconsin this weekend. Obviously, I do a lot of stand-up, and I talk to a lot of people pre and post show. And there is a large group of people that are not offended by everything and have lived life, and they're not online. They're just regular people that work their rear ends off all week and go see a comedy show. And I feel like you talk about underrepresented markets. Some people are like, yeah, me and my wife, we're cool. We came out here to laugh a little bit. Unless you draw something on the wall.
Unless you're Michael Richards.
Right,
yeah, right.
And it's just like, those people aren't represented online, so we're just like,
because they're quiet, they're not as loud.
Right, but then how do they get credence to big companies like CBS, ABC, NBC, and they have to fire people for doing what you just did over the weekend, even though there's a big audience?
Overvalue, they'll be like, 9,000 people didn't like what Al said. That's nothing. There's 330 million of us.
Who cares about any of this stuff? It's just cares about 20.
Terrific shot there.
That zoom in. That whole zoom in on
So uncomfortable. I'm like, no. Rob's like, let's do it. Okay, sorry.
Hey, when we go to break, I have a pimple over here. Here, we'll get right in it. All right. Welcome back. A recent TikTok post by Kim Kardashian's daughter, Northwest, has some people talking about how young is too young to see R-rated movies. So North, who's 9 years old, recently posted a video on the TikTok account that is shared. This is a good part to point out, and managed by her mom, so it's not just her, claiming that the horror film The Conjuring 3 is her favorite movie. So the movie, which deals with demonic possession and R-rated, and it is R-rated, is not clear if North actually saw this movie or not, but she did say this is her favorite, and being a father of a 6 and a 4-year-old, I'm not sure about 9, I don't know if I let my children watch this movie, Al.
Yeah, you know, I have 14, 15, and 8. The 8-year-old, absolutely not. But the 14-year-old kind of into makeup, kind of into horror makeup. So if that's their thing or they have an angle, you forget, like, you know, I was adrift as a young kid. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But some of these kids, because they have YouTube, TikTok, all that kind of stuff, they kind of figure out, I want to direct movies.
They have a lane.
Well, also, she's exposed to so much that the majority of the world are not. Like you said, like she'll be like, I want to be a director. She's probably been on movie sets, met Quentin Tarantino, and knows everything already, you know.
That's true.
So yeah,
Listen, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Okay. Northwest.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. What movie is Kim Kardashian in with Quentin Tarantino?
I'm just saying she'll be
the
exposed
Lindsay Lohan
to a
thing I
lot
let
more.
slide. Now let's pump the
She'll
brakes.
be exposed to a lot more. Okay, because I am a total Kardashian freak and I love them all. I really did look in depth at her video, and it was on the screen where it said buy, purchase, you know, rent, whatever. She hadn't clicked on any of them. She hadn't bought it, so I don't think she's actually. I think she's just saying it to be cool. But also. How does she look 9? When I looked 9, I had braces, my hair was all over. I looked 9. She does not look 9.
Far past us.
It's scary. I mean, look at her. She's a style icon.
Yeah. Well, she has glam team on her at all times.
No,
she can
does
go.
not.
Yeah.
Serious?
Oh my gosh, there's no way. I couldn't do my hair and makeup
No,
like
she has
that.
a glam team doing it. I'm sure Kim's glam team like has a whole room there. I also just want to say, like, I had really bad night terrors.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, really bad. Like, you can make fun, but like.
No,
The Exorcist, I still can't watch.
Yeah, like my parents, like they would shake me, and I'd be like, no, and the lights would be on, and they're throwing water in my face, and I'm
real,
still.
yeah.
So I don't know if the kids are ready for that kind of imagery, because I wasn't. I really wasn't.
I don't think I was either.
At 9, I certainly wasn't.
No, I would be up all night. I've not seen it. I remember I saw like Nightmare on Elm Street. That's it. Oh my gosh, I was about 10 years old. I watched it at my friend's house. I did not sleep. I swear for at least 2 months. I was crying all the time. I was too afraid to go to sleep.
The trauma. That sounds like trauma, really.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of funny now, but people were traumatizing you.
Did you recognize Johnny Depp in that movie?
No.
He was in that. I think that was his first movie.
With Tim Burton.
No, with Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I thought you meant Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking.
Oh.
Coming up on
Tune in for
DBL.
DBL movie review.
We talk with singer and actress Lisa Hartman Black all about going on tour with her husband Clint Black.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
We're talking about more than $12 billion raised for federal elections this cycle. So far, at least about $7 billion of which was spent trying to win elections, leaving about $5 billion left over. We turn to these sources to verify what happens with all that money. Congress established the Federal Election Commission to set standards for how political money can be used. And today, federal campaigns operate under FEC rules. Campaign committees can return excess funds to donors, but FEC rules also allow surplus campaign money to pay for things considered cost of doing business, like a candidate's travel and moving expenses and gifts to non-family members. Donations to charity, donations to state and local candidates, and transfers to party committees are also allowed. Sarah Briner with the nonprofit campaign finance tracker Open Secrets says leftover money can also fund future campaigns.
There are a lot of races this cycle that show indications that people are really looking more towards 2024 than 2022.
Briner says money is often moved around between different types of committees and accounts, each of which has different rules for giving and receiving funds.
If you have millions of dollars left over, you're still subject to the limitations on giving to a specific political group.
The FEC explicitly prohibits using money raised for federal campaigns for personal expenses, defined as costs that would exist, quote, irrespective of a candidate's campaign or job, like their mortgage or kids' tuition payments.
I don't think that becoming a politician and using political committees to make yourself wealthy is a common path that doesn't have a detour in jail.
Though candidates can receive a salary from campaign money, those checks must stop coming once they're no longer considered a candidate. Individual states will have their own rules that will largely mirror federal laws when it comes to campaign money. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Welcome back. Playing CG and Kathy in Knots Landing launched her career. Now she's taken her singing talents on the road with her husband, Clint Black, and their daughter. Earlier, we spoke to actress and singer Lisa Hartman Black to hear all about the Mostly Hits and the Misses tour. Check it out. Actress and singer Lisa Hartman Black. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. So I want to ask you, the Mostly Hits and the Misses tour, it includes a little nod to your time on Knots Landing. You said you had an amazing time there, but you also had amazing hair and outfits on the show. So we were wondering, Sam and I mostly, did you get to keep anything you wore for the show?
You know, I just happen to have something right here. Funny you should mention.
Oh my word. How cool would this?
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is the donut dress, yeah.
Do you ever put it on? Yeah, just by yourself?
That would be kind of creepy, don't you think? But yes.
I think you're right. Just in the mirror, just dressing yourself.
With that outfit, that's insane.
I know it is. I had actually Lily put it on the other night, and oh my gosh, it was an emotional moment. It's great that I still have it and that it's still intact and that the sequins are still on it and everything. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Oh, you guys have? Oh, you're so sweet.
What a rock star!
I know, right? Yeah, it was like a little space dress.
That's fabulous.
I dig it. I dig it. Now, you know, you guys are on tour, but everybody knows being on tour, the show's just a little bit. A lot of it is having fun off stage. Yes. So we know your husband, Clint, is hilarious. So there's got to be some goofing around while you guys are on tour. So I have to know, what's the best prank that's happened so far?
Well, there are many, and we prank at home and on the tour, on the buses. He's constantly in it. He never lets up. But I brought a rubber rat out on the tour.
Yes.
And it moved around, basically. And it started at the foot pedal of one of the musicians. And he found it during the show. And then they come and go from the stage a couple of times. And so then it ended up backstage, and then it ended up back on the stage. It ended up in a shower. And, you know, Clint found it in the shower and just walked out and went, really? You know, so it's hard to get him. It's really, really hard to get him. But we got everybody else, and they got me back, so it's going back out this time.
Let's go. I love it.
I'm a big prank guy. I love pranks. I also have, like, a lot of weird rituals that I do just in my daily life. Do you have any weird family rituals you do before going on stage?
Well, we do, you know, the normal work and the warm-up and all that, but something that Clint started, actually, he's in a different location from us because he opens the show, and he texts both of us, Lily and myself, and then just be out there or something sweet, and then Lily will go backstage to always watch her dad make the entrance, and it's just every night it's that moment. It's those little jitters and the excitement of going out and being together as a family and being able to share this. It's wonderful.
See, that seems like a dream to me.
That
My daughter's 5, and I already think about I don't ever want her to leave the nest. So I have to ask you, your daughter's 21. Did it take any convincing for Lily to join you and Clint on tour, or was she just excited to be with you both as well?
No, she's been a little entertainer since she was a little bitty. She used to run around the house and become Lily the vet or Lily the concierge, and she'd go into all these accents, and little Clint and I would look at each other like, oh my God, we're in trouble. And I would love for her to be a veterinarian. Can't you just do that? But she's hell-bent on it. She loves tour. She sings, and she plays trumpet. She plays drums. She's playing guitar now, and she's working on her writing skills, and she's got an EP coming out actually tonight at midnight.
Wow.
Whoa.
Go, Lily.
I know.
Yes,
Where can we find it?
Wait, let me tell you, because I have more about that. It was just announced Lily is releasing a 3-song EP that includes her first studio recording, and is written by Clint and David Foster, who is an icon. So what a special moment for Lily. I wanted to ask you, were you in the studio while she sang, or does she need everybody get out?
No, she's a social butterfly, and that's going to serve her well, in this business. But we were all in there, and it was just great. She's doing songs from the tour, and then, as you said, this other song, "Never Knew Love," and we had a moment, a big hug in the beginning. Here we go, let's pull the trigger, let's do this, and then it came time for overdubs, and Brent Mason was in there, and he was doing these guitar licks that were so fast that we were just like our heads were spinning. So there's so many great musical moments that for her especially to experience for the first time.
Lisa, it was so great talking to you today. You look fantastic, by the way. To our viewers, you can visit clintblack.com/tour to find a Mostly Hits and the Mrs. Tour stop near you. We'll be right back. Thanks, you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Today's Sandals word of the day is
relax. Enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2 to beautiful Curacao.
Slavery may sound like an issue of the past, but ballot measures in 5 states show it remains relevant in 2022. You might have seen this viral tweet out of Memphis announcing that slavery has just now been banned in Tennessee. Some people replied to that tweet saying, as surreal as it sounds, slavery remains technically legal in the vast majority of states. So is that true? Are some forms of slavery still legal in America? To verify, we read the U.S. Constitution, several state constitutions, and the ballot measures in question. And we spoke with one of the lead supporters of those measures. The form of slavery that most people are familiar with in American history, where human beings could be considered legal property, is called chattel slavery. That was banned in 1865 when the 13th Amendment was ratified. But the text of the amendment contains a huge exception. Here's what it says, quote, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction.
And so what that means is that so long as you've been convicted of a crime, you can still legally be enslaved.
That's Bianca Tylek. She heads up Worth Rises, a group dedicated to prison reform. She says because of this exception clause, prisoners can be forced to work for little or no pay. So she and others are backing federal legislation to remove that clause. To do so would require another national constitutional amendment. Advocates are also working to change state constitutions, many of which have similar language.
Across the U.S., there are some states that explicitly allow slavery according to the same exception clause in the 13th Amendment. Others are silent on the issue, which means that the 13th Amendment basically reigns for all of its citizens.
And that's how we ended up with ballot measures like the one in Tennessee and 4 other states in this election. Voters approved all but one of them. 3 other states passed similar measures in the last 4 years. Prior to that, only Rhode Island had explicitly banned all forms of slavery.
Outside of those 8 states, slavery is certainly legal.
So we can verify, yes, some forms of slavery are still legal in America. Now, even in those 8 states, prison labor has actually largely continued as normal. Many states argue that requiring prisoners to work or face punishment still wouldn't legally constitute slavery. Those arguments will have to be hashed out in court. But in the meantime, advocates say removing any exceptions and unequivocally banning slavery is simply an important human rights issue. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
What you normally wear to the office is changing. Let's connect the dots. Open-toed shoes, visible tattoos, and jeans have become commonplace in recent years as society becomes more accepting. But there's also a pandemic component. As big businesses try to lure workers back into the physical office, they're doing away with strict dress codes. Even firms like Goldman Sachs embracing a more casual look. But some trends Gen Z is following in the workplace, shocking some of the older crowd. The New York Times reporting some younger employees now wearing crop tops to the office. The trend starting on TikTok, getting labeled as unprofessional by critics, as others praise them for breaking boundaries. The younger workers say it's not just about self-expression, it's also about money. Gen Z not feeling the need to buy an entirely new wardrobe as they enter the workforce, instead preferring pieces they can wear in more places. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Is the skin on your body giving away your age? Well, then you got to stop it. Thanks to Crepe Erase, you can get softer, smoother, visibly younger looking skin again. Crepey skin feels looser and more delicate and can be thin, dry, and scaly. Crepe Erase is clinically shown to reduce the look of crepey skin instantly as well as over time. Now with age-defying peptides, True Firm Plus, and 12 super hydrators to lock in moisture and to visibly firm your skin. After just one use, 80% of users saw an instant reduction in the look of their skin. Millions of women have regained confidence in the way their skin looks. For a limited time, receive 2 free gifts plus free shipping with your Crepe Erase 2-piece system. Visit crepeerase.com or call 800-220-9119. And before we go, guys, we do have some sad news. John Aniston passed away on Friday. He was 89 years old. He was a Days of Our Lives legend for over 30 years. He was recently honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Daytime Emmys. He was also Jennifer Aniston's father. Here's a look at his iconic character.
What I want from you now is the truth. No. No, Caroline.
No, please, Victor,
Bo is my
please.
son, isn't he?
No.
Tell me,
no.
Bo is my son.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Classic. Jen posted saying, "You were one of the most beautiful humans I've ever knew. I am so grateful that you went soaring into the heavens in peace and without pain. I'll love you to the end of time." Now, we always try to spin it positively. 89 years old, fantastic career, legend in daytime TV.
Obviously, he will be missed, but that's life goals. Your daughter, successful. You're an iconic person in whatever field you choose to be, and all you did was cause joy for people along your journey. Well done, sir.
Yeah, and people know Victor Kiriakis, they're in their living room. So this is a big loss, but I'm glad he did not go in pain.
We will be reenacting that scene later.
Tell me.